Welcome to the Store Manager Academy. We are in the last lesson of the 5-week academy. Congratulations on working your way through this 5-week academy. You will get a certificate mailed to you of completion, of graduation, that you'll be able to show your employer and future employers that you have the necessary skills to run a store profitably and to build a high-performance team to lead your team to success. Congratulations. I know there's been a lot of material covered in this academy. I try to keep these videos as short as possible and just really jam-pack them with principles and different examples that will help you in your store every single day. But just know that you're not going to remember all of this through the 5 weeks. It's just impossible to comprehend all this information over a 5-week period. So make sure you go back to those different modules that were just packed with all this information that you didn't quite comprehend. Go back and watch those videos over and over, and you really need to take those principles and those concepts and apply them in your store right now. You don't have to apply all 50 of them today, but you need to start applying one here and mastering it, and then go into the next one and mastering it. Focus on the areas of opportunity where maybe you don't have a strength in those categories, in those principles. Start focusing on your weaknesses, making them strengths. I promise you, if you focus on your weaknesses that you've pointed out, that you've thought to yourself, I need to work on this as you're going through the academy, tackle those first, and I promise you, you will be a better manager for it, and you will help a lot of people along the way. Not just yourself, but a lot of people are going to thank you for their success because you led them in the right direction. Now, the last lesson. This is one that I would encourage you to not only watch right now, but you need to come back and watch this every 3 months, okay? Because this is going to be a video you will use to help you transition into either a corporate position, a national position in the corporate office, or into a multi-unit manager position, whether it's an area manager, a district manager, regional manager. This video, I want to help you transition into that position. And once you get to that point where you're working on that transition, you're going to want to jump into our District Manager Academy, because that is a full academy for store managers that are trying to become a good district manager. And therefore, new district managers that want to be a great district manager, that's what the DM Academy is going to be about. It's going to be a 3-week academy jam-packed with content to help you get promoted and to help you become a great district manager. But today's lesson is just all about that transition. Now, the first thing that needs to happen before you're ever considered for a corporate position or a multi-unit position is you have to have your house in order. You have to have a store that's profitable, that's a well-oiled machine, that can run effectively without you. When you can leave your store and your business grows and your customer complaints go down, where your merchandising goes up, that's when you know you've got a well-oiled machine. If you don't have your house in order, you will not be considered for these other positions. So make sure you have your house in order. Make sure sales are growing when you're gone. Increased customer service is happening when you're gone. Great merchandising is happening when you're gone. And that you have a team of leaders, a team of high performance. You have to live and breathe that high performance culture. Every member of your team is the top. They're at the top. You don't have bottom feeders. Your bottom feeders, the bottom feeders you have on a high performance team are really what your top performers are right now in your store. Does that make sense? Everybody's going to be at a much higher level. Everyone's going to be laser focused on their goals, on the success of the store, on the success of their own personal career. When you have a store like that, that is when you start being considered for these other positions. You also need to make sure you have minimum one replacement trained to take over the store and to actually take the store to another level, a level that you haven't been able to take it to. Yes, that's right. You need to find someone that's better than you to take your position. Find that person, train that person. Then you need a second person that's equally just as good as you to be training as well. There's nothing better to have two good managers to choose from to take over someone's store. I love being in that position as a district manager when I'm promoting a store manager to really feel confident in that promotion because that's what happens. Anytime you promote a good store manager into another position, for whatever reason, that store goes to crap. They lose comps, their comps are going down, they start to have turnover, they're getting a lot of bad reviews, and we're like, what the heck happened? Like, you had a great store and then it just went to crap. And it's because you didn't have at least two people ready to go that can actually take the store to the next level. That's what you need to focus on. If you are right now trying to get promoted to that multi-unit position, that's the first thing you need to be focused on, is having a well-oiled machine and having the right person or people being trained to take your position. And once they've hit that level where they can take your store to the next level, that's when you can leave and feel good about it. That's when you can leave a store behind you that's going to do better when you're gone. Okay? Now, the next step in this is, well, it's I guess it would be more of the first step. It's what goes on in the background. Your DM and your DM's boss need to actually know that you want to be considered for X position, whether it's an area manager or district manager or a corporate trainer or a merchandiser, a planner, whatever position it is. Your direct supervisor and their supervisor need to know that that is what you want and that is what you're working towards. You need to have a clear path to promotion. You need to have set terms in place with your supervisor on, if I hit these milestones, achieve this success, accomplish these things, get this training, I am going to get a promotion. I'm going to be considered. I'm going to be the first person to be considered for that promotion. You need to make sure that is in writing, your plan to get there. You need to make sure your boss is on the same page and everybody knows that's what you're working towards. It's absolutely vital. If you don't have that and you're running a great store, you're still going to be overlooked because your DM or your DM's boss did not know you were even an option for that promotion. They didn't know you were interested in it. They're only really paying attention to the people that have showed interest and are constantly in dialogue with them on their progress and working towards that promotion and asking them, is there any openings? The people that are top of mind are the ones that are getting promotions. If you're not top of mind, if you don't have that clear path to promotion, you're not going to get it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Now that you have a store that's a well-oiled machine, that's actually running really well when you're gone, and your boss knows what you're working towards, you need to ask for opportunities to help out in the district and even outside of the district. So during this process, you need to let your manager know that I would like to help out in any store that you need me. And you don't even need to give me a 2-hour warning. I'll be there. You just call me and I'll be there. I'll be ready to help out. Because there'll be certain situations where, a store is just in bad shape and they lose a manager, or maybe they lose somebody over a loss prevention issue or sexual harassment issue. There's so many things so many variables with managers that I've dealt with as a DM, that it was nice to have a person that I could rely on, a manager that I can rely on, that if I pull them from their store is going to continue to grow and be successful, and I can use that manager to go help out in another store. Be that manager that can be available where your store does not suffer at all from you being gone, where you can be flexible and going out there and helping your DM. That is really just the main thing. That's really what is going to help you get to that next level. When you're in that position, you can. It's almost just a matter of time before you can before you get promoted to a DM, because you've made yourself available. Your store is doing well when you're gone, and you're helping improve other stores. And so that leads us into my next part of this training. When you are actually helping those other stores, you have to be able to make a difference long term, not just short term, not just re-merchandising, the store and getting some people hired and trained, but actually leaving an impact on the store where they have a set of values and principles that you instilled into them, where they are just crushing it, they're making a difference. You've got to go in there, and that's what you need to let the DM know. When he wants you in there for 3 days, say no, 3 days is not enough. He'll be like, what do you mean? I was in the store. 3 days is enough. No, 3 days is not enough. If I want that store to continue the merchandising, to continue the customer service standards, continue to increase sales, that's not going to happen if I'm there for 3 days. It's not. I need to be there for 7 days. I need to be there for 14 days. You'll find out what number really works depending on the type of company you work for. Larger stores, it's going to take a little bit longer. Smaller stores, not as much time. But you need to set those expectations with your DM. Go in there, make a difference. Don't do the work yourself. Get the work done through everybody that works in that store, and start training them on best practices, on the culture that you've instilled in your store. Get that store to mirror that as close as possible. Win over the hearts and minds of those employees, and they will go to bat for you. Every store that I went in and helped out, and really I knew I made an impact. When I had department managers come up to me and thank me and tell me, they're so happy that I came in and helped out, and things are so much better, I go, well, hey, I really appreciate you, and if you mean that, would you mind emailing my DM, letting him know, what I did and how it's impacted your department? People would go just above and beyond to do that for me, and I can't tell you how many times my DM was like, hey, I just got 2 compliments from the store today. I've never had this happen. I've never had that happen in any store when someone's come and helped out. You're definitely making a difference. I appreciate you, Stephen. That will help you on your path to becoming a DM or getting into a corporate position. The more useful you are, the more impact you can make on other stores, the faster you will get promoted. And that is the main principle, the main concept behind this lesson, is if you have a store that's running well and you can make yourself available and you can actually make an impact in other stores, you will get promoted very quickly. Now, the very last thing I want to talk about is the actual transition. So once you've proven yourself, helping out in other stores, being able to make an impact, and you are now being considered for an area manager or district manager or a corporate position, there is a transition period that can be longer than you think. Sometimes it happens overnight because they have a demand and they need you in that position, and that makes things a little bit tougher, so you'll need to go through the DM Academy to make that transition as smooth as possible. But for many times, it's a slow process. They're now saying, Stephen, yep, you've proven yourself. We want you to be a DM. It's just, it's not going to be another 6 months before a position opens up. And so we need, you're just going to need to hang tight in your own store. So this transition period, whatever time frame it is, 3 months, 6 months, sometimes even a year, it's a little bit tougher time period to work with. You need to make sure you don't drop the ball. A lot of good managers that are in this position, once they know that they've got it, like they're going to get the job in 6 months, it's already been offered to them, they're already working out the logistics, they stop caring about their own store. And the store starts to go downhill because they're not making sure the manager that's running the store or overseeing it with you they're not making sure that those values are being instilled in the team day in and day out. They just, they're just kind of getting by. They're just so excited. These managers that are being considered for DMs. I've lived through it. I know how it feels. You just get, I don't know. It's hard to explain. You feel accomplished, and so you stop trying. And that's a big mistake that you need to avoid in this transition. You need to work harder than ever during this transition to make sure your store is absolutely ready for you to leave. Everybody there is ready. They're trained. They're killing it. Numbers are just continuing to grow. You are continuing your education. You're continuing to help out in other stores. Do not put on the brakes at any moment when you think you've got this. Just keep building upon it, keep growing, and you will have a smooth transition into your new position where there are zero regrets of promoting you, zero worries of what happens if they do promote you. Maybe they do believe in you, that you're going to do good, you're going to excel in that position, but every DM's worry, every corporate executive's worry is if they pull you out of your position where you're doing really well, that will go to crap. That store will go to crap. And so then they hesitate in pulling you out. So make sure that during this transition period, you alleviate that hesitation. You make sure they're 100% confident in putting you in that new position, that nothing will change when you leave that store behind, that in fact the store will get better, and it's proven to get better through this transition. I really hope this lesson helped you. Again, watch it every 3 months or so, and when you're coming up to that place in your career where you're ready to be promoted, come back to this lesson, watch it again, and hopefully go through the District Manager Academy. I should have a few lessons in there that'll be free, that you can get have an idea of what will be trained in those training sessions. But I want to congratulate you once again for completing the Store Manager Academy. Use this academy as a way to skyrocket your career. Show people what you've learned, teach what you've learned, and you'll be so much better for it. Apply these principles, these concepts to grow your business, to be successful, to help people grow their careers just as you grow yours. You'll make a lot of money along the way, but you'll help a whole lot more people. Thank you for dedicating so much of your time to this academy. Please participate on the weekly conference calls. We need you there. Participate in the Facebook group. There's a lot of managers that need your help, that need our help. This is a community. We're going to be able to help each other. There's just so many managers that fail because they don't have a community like this around them to support them, to help them get through these learning curves quickly. So they're not giving up. Instead, they're growing and they're being better. They're growing their career. They're building a team of high performers, and they're running a profitable business. Thank you for going through this academy. I look forward to seeing all of you guys on the bonus lesson in the Facebook group, the bonus lessons, I should say, Facebook group, and the weekly conference calls. Thank you.
Come on.